every fifth day. The expectations magnify as the ace delivers results and is rarely shaken by the anticipated performances. Season to season, decade to decade, the rotations are dealt many different ways. Never overlook having a good hand. So who's your favorite ace for the Phillies? It's tough to choose, isn't it? Well, Cole Hamels will take the baseball tonight as the National League race for 10 wins continues as the Phillies get set for Game 2 against the Oakland A's. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. We'll talk to Sarge in just a little bit. Well, tonight is a battle of two guys that really could be aces. Cole Hamels for the Phillies and for the Oakland Athletics. It's a guy that, I'll tell you what, for National League fans, probably needs a little bit of an introduction.
He does, Tom, not in the American League, and he is a tremendous pitcher. A young right-hander named Trevor Cahill won 18 games at age 22. He's only 23. Look at this rotation that the A's had back a long, long time ago. These guys were really, really good. They lost in the ALCS, but what a record they put together. They were the division champions, and the Oakland A's had some kind of pitching. They kept going to the playoffs and World Series. Now, this young guy has a big wingspan, a heavy sinker ball. He throws some wild pitches. You can run on him a little bit, but when he's on, the ball disappears in the strike zone. Has great stuff, and as we mentioned, he's really young. And look at the baby face on Trevor Cahill, and the Phillies will have their hands full with this guy tonight, Tom.
You know, at the start of the year, the A's thought that their staff could be comparable to that one from 1981. Well, from a Phillies standpoint, they thought this staff could be comparable to any of the best in Major League Baseball history, and Cole Hamels has really stepped up.
Oh, Cole Hamels has been tremendous. You go over the stats since the All-Star game last year. Nobody in Major League Baseball has been a better pitcher than Cole Hamels, and we've been lucky enough to watch this. His last start, we're going to show you these highlights, and it looks like he won this game because he was really dealing in Seattle on Sunday afternoon. But Phillies couldn't score in that game. A couple of bloop hits finally wound up beating him. But you see with the great stuff that he had, he used his fastball a lot in that game. Didn't throw that many breaking balls, a lot of cutters and fastballs, but wasn't able to win the ball game. Cole Hamels statistics by the month. Outstanding April and May, doing the same thing here in June. He has 9 wins. CeCe Sabathia got to 10 today in the American League, and Cole Hamels is hoping to be the first National League guy to get to 10 wins tonight. Roy Halladay, his teammate, is also at 9.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to consider that the Phillies have 2 guys with 9 wins and another guy in Cliff Lee with 8 victories. We'll talk more about Roy Oswalt, who's part of this rotation, in just a little while as well. An injury update on him. Last night, Ben Francisco, it only took 1 hit for the Phillies to win that ball game. Maybe they'll get a little more offense tonight. The lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota offers fuel efficiency you'll love, only better. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. Ballpark on a beautiful night. Hey, some updates as far as injuries go from today. Ryan Matson, a little inflammation of the muscle in his hand. There's no fracture, but he did have a cortisone shot. We were wondering last night after the ball game why Ryan was not in the ninth inning last night. Well, if you remember a few weeks ago, he took a ball back to the box off his hand. Well, that pain's been lingering. Roy Oswalt met with the media today. He has mild bulging in a couple of discs, the L4 and the L5 in his back. Now, he's out indefinitely. He's going to get a second opinion. We'll probably have more in the next few days. And then Jose Contreras, muscle spasms in his shoulder. You know, they're hoping that he'll gradually get himself strong enough to be back in Charlie Manuel's bullpen. So even though the Phillies have the best record in the National League and begin play tonight, 5 games up in the division, Charlie Manuel, like every other manager, has issues that he has to deal with on a daily basis. Let's take a look at the A's lineup tonight, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Jemile Weeks leads it off at second base. Mark Ellis hits second. Coco Crisp bats third. He's in center field. Hideki Matsui bats cleanup. Connor Jackson's at first base. He'll bat fifth. Scott Sizemore, the third baseman, hits sixth. And the bottom third of Suzuki, Rosales, and Trevor Cahill to face Phillies left-hander Cole Hamels, who's looking to become the National League's first 10-game winner.
Well, his numbers are outstanding. You see his earned run average at 2.51. Walk strikeout ratio just out of sight. The opposition hitting just 208 against him. He came off a great game that he pitched in Seattle on Sunday. Was the losing pitcher in that game. They just didn't score for him. Southwest Airlines scouting report, that middle one is what's happened with him. He has a consistent downward plane on his pitches, and he is really tough to hit when he does that. And real good numbers here in this ballpark.
Very good numbers here at Citizens Bank Park this season and overall during the course of his career. You see Hamels pitching with a Band-Aid, a circular Band-Aid on his chin. He's got a little bit of a pimple that he's been dealing with the last couple of days.
Well, he's young.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks have had to deal with that over the years.
Yeah, a little youth, that's all. Time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's game. Really a pretty night here at Citizens Bank Park. Tommy said another sellout. Well, the bullpen's in a little mix-up right now, and we'll get into that a little bit more. Tom's already touched on it with 2 of the injuries, and you got 2 big-time starters going at each other in this ball game tonight, with Cole Hamels for the Phillies and a good-looking young pitcher in Trevor Cahill for Oakland.
So here we go. The first pitch of the night, and it's a strike at the knees, and it's no balls and 1 strike to Weeks. Jemile Weeks, as we came to find out today. 305 hitter, no home runs and 6 RBIs.
Well, he was Jamil when he hit left-handed.
I thought he was Jamil all the way back to his days at the University of Miami.
I guess not.
1 ball and 1 strike to count to Weeks. Weeks overall hitting 305, as you saw. No homers and 6 runs batted in. And a good changeup, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now, these guys have not seen Cole Hamels. The Phillies have not seen Cahill. So, you know, 1 time, 2 times through the lineup, sometimes it can be really tough when you have these kind of pitchers, especially, you know, and to see that changeup on video is one thing. To see it in the batter's box, another is he just got 2 in a row.
So first strikeout of the night for Hamels. 1 away here in the first.
Backed up changeups to him and got him way out in front. Really fools him. Foul tip held on to by Carlos Ruiz back in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, he didn't throw many changeups, you know, and normally he throws a lot, but he didn't throw a whole lot in the game against the Seattle Mariners.
Right. A lot of cutters and 4-seamers.
Mark Ellis is swinging a miss, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Ellis did not play last night. For a long time, he was the A's everyday second baseman. But as he's gotten older, he's had to find other ways to get in the lineup, and he's playing first base tonight, hitting .211 with a home run and 15 RBIs, and he hits one through the hole on the right side. So he's aboard. It took until the 6th inning for both teams to get a hit last night, and here we go. 1 out in the first, and the A's have their first hit. During the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. There's Vance Worley, who pitched last night, received a no decision as the Phillies went on to win the game. He did not allow a hit until the 6th inning of the game. Ellis is indeed a threat to run. And Coco Crisp at the plate. Well, if he gets on, he's also a threat to run.
Hey, Coco Crisp, what he's done against the Phillies, he hurt them in a series in Boston a few years ago when he was with the with the Red Sox. He's moved on to some other teams.
Mike Gallego makes that play in the third base coach's box. And it's no balls and 1 strike to Crisp. There's Mike. He's a pretty good infielder during his career as a major leaguer. Kind of a utility guy.
I just called for changeup here.
Ground ball left side, handled by Polanco. There's one. Utley's turnover to first, dug out by Howard. 5-4-3 around the horn. That was a good play by Ryan Howard to pick that one out of the dirt to get Coco Crisp, who's limping back toward the first base coach, Ty Waller. So the Phillies get a double play right out of the chute here in the first to help Cole Hamels along. So Hamels comfortable here in the first as we go to the bottom of the first. Here at the bottom of the first, let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Placido Polanco bats second. Chase Utley hits third. Ryan Howard is the cleanup batter. Shane Victorino's in center field. He'll bat fifth. Raul Ibanez sixth. Dominic Brown starts again in right field. He'll bat seventh. Carlos Ruiz, he missed yesterday because, as we found out after the game, he had a root canal. He'll hit eighth, and Cole Hamels bats ninth against right-hander Trevor Cahill, just 23 years old, and he's coming off a very good year last season, and he has 7 wins this year.
6'4", 226-pounder with a large wingspan out there, and an outstanding young pitcher. He's already done a lot in his brief major league career. Sinker is his best pitch, curve and changeup. 18-game winner at age 22. Now he has 9 wild pitches, and 20 runners have gone on him, and 16 have made it.
Well, here's a foot race over to first, and Cahill gets there ahead of Jimmy Rollins, so a 3-1 putout. 1 away here in the first.
Tom mentioned Coco Crisp came up limping a little bit. He doesn't look like he hurts himself until he jumps at the bag right there at the end, and a lot of times guys can hurt an instep, an ankle, a heel, and that's why they try to discourage him from jumping at the bag like that at the last second.
Well, he's still out there in center field, but it took him a long time to get out to center field in between innings. Tell you what, he still moves pretty well. 1 away for Placido Polanco. Polanco hitting .289. Polanco last night moved into the 5-hole, and he's back there again against Cahill. He was 1 for 2.
Cahill had a really good start his last time out against the Giants and Matt Cain. Prior to that, he had lost 5 in a row.
Inside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Polanco.
Boy, that thing does move. Wow.
See his line against the Giants, 7 strikeouts. He allowed 5 hits and 8 innings of work.
First breaking ball. So they say he throws a curveball. don't expect to see a slider from him. And the last time out in that game against the Giants, he had an excellent changeup also. And he likes to throw the fastball to run it at the left-handed hitters, run it over the plate, and backdoor it on right-handed hitters. Like that.
And a called strike 3. So Polanco's down looking.
Ooh, this guy. You can see why when he's on, that is just nasty. The movement on that thing towards the plate and then down. Look where this thing starts out here and comes back into here. Man, it's just going to flat out freeze you as a hitter.
It's amazing how some guys could do it and some guys can't.
Imagine teaching that. Polanco's like, ooh, man, that's different.
Oh, 2 away, and here's Chase Utley. Utley overall hitting .269. Chase in last night's ball game was 0 for 3. But over his last dozen games, hitting well, hitting .326, which is more like Chase Utley. He had a walk in the 8th inning of yesterday's game. And he takes low. It's 2-0. The lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Jim Haggerty of North Cape May, New Jersey. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, the Big Jim will win $200. Off to the left side. Beautiful night here at Citizens Bank Park. Another sellout. Temperature 80 degrees at game time. There was a nice breeze down on the field before the start of the game. Change up, hit toward first. Scooped up by Ellis. And 2 3-1 putouts for Trevor Cahill. And he's through the first. It's an 11-pitch first inning for Trevor Cahill. We go on to the second. Favorite Phil for this year's All-Star game. You can vote up to 25 times. Again, voting ends this Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Again, go to Phillies.com to vote for your favorite Philly. Grounder right side. Chase Utley takes care of Hideki Matsui. Well, speaking of Phil, there's Phil Martelli. Head coach at St. Joseph's. His dad is there as well with his arms crossed. Phil's son Jimmy getting married. His soon-to-be wife Julie, they're in town getting a chance to soak in this ball game. The gentleman with the glasses right there with his head turned is Phil Martelli Jr.
Didn't take long for them to get a phone call, did it?
No. Well, Phil's in touch with everybody.
Oh, Phil is in touch. There's no doubt about that. With good point with everything.
Yep.
He is an entertaining, neat guy.
Well, we wish Jimmy Martelli and Julie the best of luck. Julie, welcome to the Martelli family. You're going to enjoy yourself.
It shouldn't be dull.
Nope. Jimmy's actually an assistant coach over at Rutgers University now. Phil's son Phil is at the University of Delaware as an assistant coach. So it's in the blood. And of course, Judy, Phil's wife, was sitting next to him, and she keeps it all together.
Yeah, you got to make sure you mention Judy.
Yeah, she's a heck of a basketball player at one point, a Immaculata.
The Mighty Mac. She wasn't one of them, but she's too young.
No, she was one of them. Yes.
Is that right? She was one of the Mighty Mac?
I think she'll appreciate that compliment, but yes, she was.
That's great. Boy, they were.
There she is.
Made a movie about them that's going to come out soon, I think.
Yeah, there's billboards all along 95. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, well, Phil won't be happy with that. The Mets have defeated the Rangers 14-5. Lucas Duda, 4 hits, including 4 RBIs. As Scott Sizemore takes upstairs, it's 1-0. And in Chicago, well, the Nats were finally cooled off by the White Sox. Nationals apparently are going to hire Davey Johnson as their next manager, and according to reports, will sign him to a deal through the 2013 season.
Guess Jim Riggleman was right. He wasn't in their plans.
I guess so. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Scott Sizemore. And a little high, 3-0.
Hamels wanted to know where that was, and as you said, a bit high, according to Angel Hernandez.
There's Angel Hernandez behind the plate tonight. The crew chief Joe West over at third. Chad Fairchild at second. Angel Campos around at first. 3-1 pitch to Sizemore. On the hands, a pop-up right side into shallow right. Here comes Dominic Brown. And he puts it away. The side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Nothing across for the A's. We've played 1.5 already here in Philly. To know from Marshall Harris and Greg Murphy and Ricky Vitalico, everything about your favorite teams right from the palm of your hand. Your teams right now. Free. Download CSN Philly Sports app for your iPhone now. Bottom of the second.
John Slobodkin.
John Slobodkin's taken into the game tonight. Former Phillies producer.
Yeah. Pass the mantle and the reins on to Jeff Halligan, who does such a good job now. And John Slobodkin's a heck of a mentor.
So who's who in that booth tonight? Marshall Harris, Greg Murphy, Ricky Vitalico.
Saturday night, the ballpark. How do you beat it, huh?
Here's Ryan Howard to lead it off. Howard hitting .257 with 16 homers and 62 runs batted in. Mentioned last year that Cahill won 18 games. He had a 2.97 ERA. In 196 and 2/3 innings, he only allowed 155 hits. First time ever facing the Phillies. And the 2-1 pitch.
Well, I talked about, you do a recon when you face a guy for the first time, and first few hitters have to be going back there saying, "Ooh, this guy's going to be a handful tonight."
Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. When you think about the battle for the Cy Young Award last year, we talked about Felix Hernandez winning it with just 13 wins, edging CC Sabathia and David Price. Well, this guy was in the conversation too, but the A's just weren't that good a ball club, as Howard draws a walk. And as we mentioned, Cahill has uncorked 9 wild pitches this year, so Howard's got to be on his toes.
Well, last year he's 18-8 with a 2.97 earned run average. He started 30 games. See, lowest percentage of strikes. He will walk a lot of batters, and the reason is the ball moves so much.
Here's Victorino, hitting .292 overall. Victorino scored the winning run last night. In fact, he scored the only run last night.
Now, Ryan Howard's not going to steal a bag here, but what you have to be careful or alert for is a base runner. There's Ben Francisco, who knocked in the winning run, or balls in the dirt, because he has 9 wild pitches, because that stuff explodes up there, and you can move up a bag just on a pitch in the dirt.
Inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Victorino.
I can think it's really hard for the catcher to get pitches for this guy too, to frame them, because they're moving so much. You watch Suzuki moving around a lot behind home plate already, because he has no choice. It's tough to sit still back there for a pitcher with this much movement.
Well, Suzuki goes out to the mound to talk to Cahill.
Yeah, and I would think this is the way you try to beat him. Try to get him to get wild.
Bob Melvin, the manager. Ron Romanek, the pitching coach. Three balls and no strikes the count to Victorino. Taking all the way, and there's ball 4. So back-to-back walks for the Phillies. Good job to just be patient, look for a strike. Nobody out, runners on first and second. Hey, Friday, July 22nd, the Phillies and the San Diego Padres will begin a 4-game series. It finishes off on Monday the 25th at 1:05. That's the Citizens Bank Business Person Special, and in Modell's Sporting Goods, kids run the bases after the game. Tickets are limited, but they are available. Go to Phillies.com and make a purchase today.
I think this guy will throw some double play balls with his heavy sinker, so he can get into trouble and get out of them with ground balls.
Ibanez takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Raul's not only struggled here at home, he has struggled overall. 0 for 4 last night. Traditionally, though, very good numbers in interleague play with 28 homers and 102 RBIs. I mean, he had a changeup that was up, and he dribbled it foul. There you go, Wheels. 7 double play ground outs and 63 opportunities. Yeah, 1 every 9 innings.
Yeah, I think there'd be more than that, but you wouldn't expect a guy with a sinker like him not to throw some double plays.
I should say 1 every 9 opportunities.
Right.
Howard's on second. Victorino's at first. Back-to-back walks to start the second. And Ibanez is down on strike. Second strikeout for Cahill. And 1 away.
It's an off-speed pitch. Oh, it's a changeup. You see it coming in his hand. I don't know whether he meant to throw it in that spot, but it went down in a hurry and was way off speed.
Cahill last year had 118 strikeouts. On this pace, he'll surpass that very easily here in 2011 as Dominic Brown takes a strike. Brown last night had a pretty good evening. He walked twice and had 2 hits. So 2 for 2. Charlie Manuel thought he had some pretty good swings and some pretty good at bats. But he's in the hole 0-2 here.
He's talking about that tonight, that hey, we don't teach walking, he said, but we teach get a good ball to hit. He said in Brown's case last night, he took the walks when they were there. They're watching Cahill's stuff. They're trying to get a little different angle on it.
Up high, 1-2.
And Charlie's down there talking to Jimmy Rollins. We can see him from where we are too, and he's making the motion with his hand about the way the thing's sinking. I think Jimmy's thinking, hey, no kidding. You ought to see it up there.
Well, there's that fastball that he likes to run back against lefties, and it just didn't run all the way back. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brown. Breaking ball, cut on and miss. So back-to-back strikeouts for Cahill. 3 strikeouts in the game.
This is kind of a tough guy too to talk about, this early in the game with a guy like Charlie, even Greg Gross hitting, because his stuff is so explosive. Have to see if he gets in any kind of a pattern at all. The breaking ball there after some sinkers. See if he'll make some mistakes, walk guys like he did early, but then all of a sudden he starts to throw strikes again.
Well, 2 outs. Here's Ruiz with runners on first and second. First 2 batters reached on walks. And Carlos takes a curve for a strike. Cahill just started throwing the curve a couple years ago, and they term it a 12-6 curve because of the way it breaks, and it's got some pretty good drop to it.
Oh yeah. As you see so far, no slider, 3 pitches. That was a sinking fastball, and you could see Suzuki just diving out to catch it, and that's one of the reasons why he probably has all these wild pitches.
Rollins in the hole, on the stairs, taking a look. Line drive, base hit it to center field. Howard's around third, heading for home. He's going to score. Victorino goes to third. An RBI single for Ruiz. It's 1-0 Phillies.
Nice job by Carlos Ruiz there to get a pitch in the middle of the plate, hammer it up the middle. Make him pay for those 2 walks to start the inning, followed by the 2 strikeouts. See what he throws him here. It's that sinker, and he tried to throw it on the outside part of the plate, and it caught in the middle of the plate. Juan Samuel with an easy wave around there for Ryan Howard. Phillies lead 1-0.
And Howard was safe at home, safe and secure with New York Life. So 1-0 Phillies. Here's Cole Hamels. Hamels overall hitting .242 with an RBI. He has a triple. And he takes one in the dirt. It's 1 ball and no strikes. That's a good run to get for Cole and for the Phillies here in the second inning.
Yeah, especially when it looked like you weren't going to get anything out of that after it started out so promising with the leadoff walk. 2 walks. Ryan started it with a walk.
To left field. Matsui was playing in, and he's able to get back to make the grab. And the side is retired. Well, Cole put a pretty good charge in it the opposite way, but he goes down. The Phillies settle for a run. They lead 2. Phillies lead at 1-0 as we go to the third. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, the question is, name the A's player that became the first in MLB history to hit home runs in his first 2 World Series at-bats. Oh, he threw a pump fist out there, folks.
I got to guess.
Or fist pump, I should say.
And it's not Andrew Jones.
Ryan Howard scored the run to give the Phils a 1-0 lead, and then a little advice to Cole Hamels as Hamels was getting ready to hit.
Well, did he listen? That was a heck of a play by Matsui. He's doing what he's supposed to do and play shallow to his offside like that, and he almost hit it over his head.
Here's Kurt Suzuki, and the first pitch from Hamels is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Ryan worked out the walk, and maybe he figured something out that could help any of the hitters. So just a little word of advice for Cole. 2-0 the count.
Well, a lot of guys like to sit around and watch to see if a pitcher will tip his pitches. Not that have any idea whether that guy does that or not, but when they pick up something like that, boy, can that help hitters. A lot of times it'll do. They'll say more than anything, they'll flare the glove sometimes if they're going to throw a certain pitch like a breaking ball. They might start their hands a little lower. There's just certain ways that guys will tip pitches, and boy, when they figure it out, it can really be important for hitters.
Well, and for these guys that have been around for a while, even the little subtle changes in a delivery helps them.
Yeah, well, like I said, they'll flare the glove, do
right.
something like that. Sometimes they'll reach in a different way. They'll do something, and it's very subtle, as you said, Tom. But especially coaches, and there's always a player or two that are pretty wise to that sort of stuff. They look for that early, and now most of the time they can't find anything. But when they find it, big advantage.
Matt Stairs was a guy that could really figure out what the pitcher was doing.
Yeah.
Where he could help the hitters and help himself as the game moved on.
Sure, they can, they're just going to do something different, and if he does one way, it's going to be a fastball. If he does something the other way, it's something off speed.
David Herndon was saying that one of the reasons why he was getting hit so hard early on this season is that he was changing the way he would get ready, depending on if he threw a slider or a sinker. And with video, he figured it out. So he figured that the hitters kind of figured it out too.
Oh, there are guys on teams, coaches especially, that are so good at that stuff, and they'll just watch it right out of the chute and try to find something.
Fly ball to deep right field. Brown on the run, and that one is gone. An opposite field home run for Rosales, his second of the year, and he is speeding around the bases. It's a 1-1 ball game.
Well, there's a little bit of wind to right center tonight, and the fastball, he got it up and it took off. And did he ever run around the bases? At a point there, you think it's in the first row. Okay, I got to run and maybe an extra base hit. But even when he knew it was a home run, he just kept on going.
Yeah, when he was between first and second, he probably thought it might still be in the yard. Here's Cahill, and the count 1-0 to Cahill, and he takes strike one.
And these guys do not hit many home runs. They play in a huge ballpark in Oakland, the Coliseum there, and it's not a real good home run park, to say the least, and they don't have a lot of power anyway.
6th home run allowed by Hamels. And a swing and a miss, and the pitchers for the A's are still hitless this year. 3rd strikeout for Hamels. There you go, Wheels, put a clock on him.
This is funny to watch. Look at this guy. Now, right about there. Is it a double? Is it a home run? No, it's a home run. But he just keeps on going. And he picks up. That's the way they used to run him out if they hit him off Nolan Ryan. Guys used to say they didn't want him to remember who did it.
Weeks grounds it to shortstop. Rollins charges, takes it on the short hop, and the side is retired. So pitch-wise, it was kind of a quick inning for Cole Hamels. However, he did allow the opposite field home run to tie this ball game up at 1. We've played 2.5 here in Philadelphia. Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines do rapid rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Phillies are tied 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the third. They lead the East by 5 games over the Atlanta Braves, who were walloped last night by the Padres. Padres don't wallop a lot of teams. They beat them pretty handedly last night. And the second game of that series will be later on this evening, where Jair Jurgens will pitch for the Braves. Adam Rosales has tied this ball game up with an opposite field home run. And now the top of the order will get their second look at Trevor Cahill.
Already had as many runs in this game as we had total last night.
Breaking ball low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Double no-hitter last night in the 6th inning.
Moscoso was asked about that, if he knew that he had a no-hitter. He said, I'm just worried about staying in the rotation. He pitched well, though, and so did Vance Worley, who kind of gutted it out through 6. Grounder toward first. Ellis really backed up on it. And Rollins is thrown out rather easily. 1 away. There's Moscoso. Yeah, this rotation is kind of in flux, the A's rotation, depending on who gets back first from the disabled list, because they've used 9 different starters already this year. And, you know, Cahill was probably going to be the ace anyway, but they had some pretty good arms that they don't have right now because of the DL, including Dallas Braden, who threw a perfect game last year. They do have Gio Gonzalez, who's pitched very well. As Polanco hits one to straightaway center. Coco Crisp is under it. 2 outs. Hey, visit the ballpark up close and personal by taking a Citizens Bank Park tour. Tours include visits to the dugout, Diamond and Hall of Fame clubs, and much more. They're available year-round. For information or to schedule your tour, see Ballpark Tours at Phillies.com. So 2 outs here in the third. On the outside corner to Utley. No balls and 1 strike. Utley grounded out to first his first time up. Another breaking ball. To right field. On the run is Connor Jackson, and he made the catch. Wow, what a play by Connor Jackson as he goes tumbling along the warning track. Chase Utley just robbed of at least a double. It may have even been a triple if that ball started rattling around out in right center field. Phillies go down in order. Little defense by the A's to finish up the bottom of the third. labels you'll love, like Avery labels with exclusive True Block technology. Who but WB Mason? Trust WB Mason for all your office supply needs. Beautiful night over on the Bud Light rooftop. Fans soaking in the atmosphere, taking a look at what's going on in Ashburn Alley. We start the fourth. Mark Ellis leads it off, and he takes a strike from Cole Hamels. Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth. Ellis reached on a single his first time up. And that pitch got a piece of Ellis. Just the third batter that Hamels has hit this year. And the leadoff hitter's aboard here in the fourth inning. Sarge, unlike last night, we have a couple of runs already in this game.
Yeah.
At this point, unlike last night at this point.
Right, and hitting the ball a little bit harder so far. Looks like a cutter kept on cutting, hits him on the knee.
Well, last time he got Coco Crisp grounded to a around the horn double play. Let's see if he could do that again here. With nobody out and a runner at first. And Crisp takes low. 1 ball and no strikes. Coco Crisp had a 10-game hitting streak come to a close during Thursday's game against the Mets. Nearly got him. First time we've seen Hamels with that kind of move.
Yeah, that's a good move, and that did surprise him. Lower throw might have been able to get him, but stepping off that quick, little step off move. Almost had him leaning.
Almost had him leaning, and I think Cole has to be a little careful. He's got to get that foot off the rubber before he starts tossing over to first.
Good point.
There's a pitch high. It's 2-0 to Coco Crisp. That's another part of his game, though, that's really improved. You know, base stealers are still stealing bases against him, but he's done a better job of keeping them close. You know, he's keeping an eye on them with a little more consistency this year.
Yeah, there's some teams that have been able to read that move.
Ty Waller, who's the first base coach for the A's. He's been around for a while. Ellis taking his lead off first. And a strike, and it's 3-1 to Crisp.
Pretty good running count here for Oakland. Almost trying to get that ground ball if he can. And get himself 2 outs.
Swing and a miss, a delayed steal. The throw is in time. It was toward the shortstop side of second. And Utley was able to grab it and then find Ellis. You don't often see a delayed steal. That one was really delayed.
Yeah, trying to catch him by surprise. Usually when you delay steal, you do a couple of crow hops. He ended up just taking off late. Don't know if you want to do it the way that he did, and you can see how easy he was getting thrown out.
There's ball 4, and Crisp is aboard with the first walk issued by Hamels.
Take a look at it. Now, usually there's a crow hop there, but he just waited and then delayed. That's a real type of delayed steal. That's not really the way that it's taught. You know, you're taught to take a couple of crow hops out where you're not taking off, and then you're a little bit further out.
Here's Matsui with a runner at first. Now Crisp will run. Delayed steal or not. He's stolen 22 bases. He's been caught 7 times. He might give Matsui a pitch or two before he takes off, but don't be surprised if he's off and running. And again, he looked like he came up a little lame earlier on that double play, so maybe his leg is bothering him to the point where he won't run. But traditionally, he's a base stealer. There he goes. Leg must be feeling okay. Base hit to left field. He slid head first into second. I don't know if Jimmy Rollins sold it well and made it seem like the throw was coming, or if he just slid head first just because he was anticipating a throw and didn't hear the contact.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call that a hit and run. That's a steal all the way. If it's a hit and run, he's usually going to take a look over. That ball hit, he just gets down. For you youngsters, you want to pick up the coach right away. J-Ro actually sold that. That's why he ended up getting down there on the ground. He's thinking that ball was hit where you're going to be able to have a play.
So that's what we wondered. We wondered if Jimmy was doing a little gamesmanship out there, and he did. So 1 out, runners on first and second. Connor Jackson's the hitter, and he takes inside. It's 1-0. That was pretty good because Coco Crisp saw where Rollins was standing, and he figured, well, I better get down.
Yeah, and he had a great jump. It looked like he would have had a chance to throw him out.
Change up low, 2-0.
Still trying to find that control where he's able to get ahead and then make him swing at pitches. Pitchers.
Yeah, I said that was a changeup. That was actually a cutter. Fly ball straight away center field. Victorino backs up on it. Crisp tagging from second. He'll draw the throw. Oh, Victorino hesitated and then just looped the throw in, and Crisp took off. That was a mistake by Victorino.
Yeah, set him up. Well, that's a play that he'll tell you for you youngsters. When that ball goes out there, you get it in as quick as you can and get it on the line. If he does that, he's not going to go. He just set him up, and then just all of a sudden acting like he's not going to go. You can see how he hesitated. Willie Mays-like as he takes off. Once that throw is actually thrown in the air. Now watch this, how he just lobs it in, taking it for granted. Now once he does that, fast base runner is going to get there just about every time.
Well, it's pretty smart play on the part of Coco Crisp. You don't see it that often in this day and age. As you said, Willie Mays used to do it a lot. Think he's running it through his head right now?
Oh, I'm sure. You know, that's a mental error. I mean, it's still an error. Not physical, but more mental.
Opposite way, and it's a base hit into right field. And the A's will take the lead. It's 2-1 Oakland as Crisp crosses the plate. It's an RBI single for Sizemore. It's still runners on, 2 runners on base. There are runners on first and second. Now, would he have scored anyway from second? Probably.
Well,
or at least would have attempted to score.
Might have been a close play there, although Coco is a fast runner. Dominic Brown, good arm in right field.
Here's Kurt Suzuki. I guess that's the shame of it, is that we'll never know.
Yep.
Well, he swings at the first pitch. Rollins venturing back on the outfield grass. And he makes the catch, and the side is retired. So maybe a mental error by Shane Victorino leads to a run for the A's. Ryan Howard will lead it off in the bottom of the 4th. University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEF now. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Well, bottom of the fourth, Phillies trail it by 1. In between innings, you wonder when's the right time for coaches to point out certain things. Well, Charlie Manuel decided to talk to Shane Victorino in between innings, and I'm sure about the play that enabled Coco Crisp to go from second to third on a fly ball to center.
Yeah. Well,
that's good.
Yeah, well, mental mistake, and I'm sure Shane took the high road and saying, my fault, should have got it in.
It's signed 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Howard. Folks always say, well, when's the best time? Is it after the game? Is it during a game? I always think it's probably best during the game so it doesn't happen again during that game.
Yeah, I think so, depending on that situation.
1-2 the count to Howard.
Early in the ball game, you always do it, but again, late in the ball game, I'm sure he would have gotten it in because it is late. Scored awful close.
To 2 the count to Howard. This guy's been really busy behind the plate.
Moving his feet. That's how you do it. You got to move your feet. And that's what he did, trying to keep that ball in front of him. Nice pick.
Well, the strikeout for Cahill. That's his 4th of the game.
Looked to be a pretty good pitch. Fastball in. Howard maybe giving up on it. Watch how it comes back. Yep. Looks like a pretty good strike on the inside part of that shin guard. Pitcher's pitch, but again, it looks to be like a strike.
Well, 1 out now for Victorino, who walked his first time up. And he takes low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, not throwing very hard, but he does have a lot of movement on his pitches.
His changeup kind of moves the way his fastball moves, just slower.
He's got it going, moving, 2-seamer.
His ball strike ratio is not great, but he leads it 2-1. And he's allowed just 1 hit.
Well, you got to give him a little credit. He does pitch inside, throwing changeups, getting the hitters off balance. Best way to approach a pitcher like this, not trying to do too much and really stay through the ball.
Little nubber, and Cahill makes the play. Hey, find out what happens when the anchor team of Neil Hartman and Amy Fadul hits the lakes against the analyst team of Steve Coates and Ricky Patalico at Arana Mink Golf Club in advance of the AT&T National. Don't miss 4. Tuesday night at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet. You should have got in on that, Sarge.
Well, get me a free pass. I don't going over and play.
Ibanez grounds it to second. Weeks backs up on it. Side is retired. Easy inning for Cahill. He's retired 7 consecutive batters. We've completed 4 here at Citizens Bank Park. We go to the 5th. It's a 2-1 Oakland lead. It's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Yeah, well, this is done by Adam Rosales there as he hits that ball out to right field. Coming in, only one home run. Boy, it's just no justice in the game. That's your Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Guy can move around the bases, too.
Well, looks like they got him more for defense, but it just goes to show you what happens when you're able to swing at strikes.
So he's 1 for 1. The count, 1 ball and no strikes to him, and he swings and lifts it in the air to center. He sent it a pretty good ways, but Victorino makes the catch, 1 away. Sarge, what do you think of these A's uniform tops they got going? Kind of a throwback to the 70s and 80s for them.
Well, you know, not a fan for me, but I don't particularly like. I like the more traditional. I like the stripes for me. I like some of the solid, but it's just a little loud. That's all.
Well, they wore the grays yesterday, the traditional grays. These are similar to the uniforms they wore back in the 80s. Now, we saw the cover shot of the Sports Illustrated from the 81 season. You know, their gold jerseys had Oakland across the front. But they decided to institute these uniform tops this year, bring them back again. And they're usually just worn at home. But they started winning some games on the road, so they decided to bring them with them on the road trip.
Well, they still had to get permission, I would think, though, to wear those, would you?
Who are they going to ask?
Well, I thought that all the uniforms had to be, uniformed. I didn't think you could wear home on the road.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's what I was talking about.
I think once you have them, there's the uniforms from 81. I think once you have them, it's a good point. I think once you have them, you can wear them at any time.
Oh, okay.
But some of the players were talking about the gray pants and the gold top that doesn't look as sharp as the white pants and the gold top.
Are you talking about their team?
Yeah.
That's a strike, by the way. Well, they need to worry about some other things, I would think, besides the uniforms.
Grounder back to the box. Scooped up by Howard. 2 outs here in the 5th. 55 pitches for Hamels here in the 5th inning.
Still trying to locate first pitch fastball or first pitch strike, getting ahead of the hitters, getting a little bit more consistent.
Weeks takes the change up, 0-1. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Weeks. We try to get him to go fishing on another change up, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Still not having the feel that he wants for that change up, where he gets the ball to move away from the right-handed batter.
Cliff Lee, Kyle Kendrick, Ryan Matson. Lee had guys off balance in his last start.
Well, you stay ahead of the hitters, so it's easier for you to pitch. Yeah, Cliff gets into a groove the same way that Cole Hamels will do. It makes it just easier for him.
Opposite way, that's a base hit to right field. So he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes, and after running the count even 2-2, Weeks picks up the single to right. Here's Mark Ellis, and he takes a fastball for strike 1. Ellis singled to right and was hit by a pitch in the 4th.
Well, you would actually think even Weeks would be trying to steal with 2 outs, get in the scoring position.
Yeah, he has stolen 6 bases this year. He's been caught twice. He was a pretty big base stealing threat in the minor leagues.
Well, with this kind of a lineup that they have, they do have to take advantage of that and try.
And a balk is called. Balk is called on Cole Hamels. Angel Hernandez and I think Angel Campos both called it. It was definitely Hernandez, the home plate umpire.
Oh, Cole not very happy about that. See what he does. Wow. Well, it looked like he stepped over to first base. I don't know exactly what Angel was calling there behind home plate.
It's not often that the home plate umpire can have the right angle to make that call, Sarge.
That's another good point. But I mean, it appeared that he did step over.
He looked back toward the plate.
Well, you can look back as long as your foot's going toward first base. You're fine.
The 0-1 pitch to Ellis. Up high. Let's take another look at it. This will give us an indication. Did he go forward before he went to first? Boy, that's...
Couldn't tell, and he's actually saying, hey, here's this imaginary line. Well, these are these kind of clubs, regardless, that you're going to have to score off of them. You don't want to stay close to this club here.
Swing and a miss at a changeup. It's 2-2. I have to admit, we saw that side angle. It didn't look like he was coming toward home. Angel Hernandez is behind home plate. And
yeah, he couldn't tell either.
Yeah, well, he thinks he could. The 2-2 to Ellis. Swing and a miss. He got him. Ellis down swinging. The side is retired. No runs. 1 hit. 1 man left. We played 4.5 here in Philadelphia. The Phillies looking for a little offense after Cole Hamels gets through the top of the 5th inning. Summer long here at Citizens Bank Park with great promotions, but make sure you plan ahead. There are limited seats for most Phillies home games that are still available. But go to Phillies.com to check out the schedule today and to purchase those tickets. And a reminder, there are a limited amount of standing room only tickets that are on sale prior to each game. here at the ballpark. Home half of the fifth. Phillies trail at 2-1. They've managed just one hit so far against Trevor Cahill. Ball's hit hard. Weeks juggles. And there's one away.
Well, I'm going to have to take a look at that again, hoping that the youngster didn't take it for granted that it was an automatic out.
I think he may have.
No, he has pretty good speed, and that's something that really shouldn't happen. Thought he would be actually closer than that. Juggle, going to get it. Finds a handle, but just now get it in your pitcher. Now take a look at it. Nope.
Oh, boy.
Not running, not hustling. That's a no-no for me.
With his speed, he could have beaten that out.
Oh, you see Charlie probably asking him, man, did he run there? You can't do that. You just, and especially the younger players. One of the things that Willie Mays and McCovey taught us right away is that you always have to give 100%. You don't always get a hit, but the hustling part of it, you got to do. And the way this game is going right now, they're inviting a meeting after the game from Charlie. This kind of stuff keeps up. I mean, you just can't have it, period.
Here's Ruiz, who grounds one toward the hole, backhanded by Rosales. One hop throw in time to get Ruiz. That's a nice play by Rosales and a good pick by Ellis. So 2 away here in the fifth.
Pretty good play as he goes in the hole to pick this. One hop, had the catcher running, barely gets him as he picks it with one hand.
Yeah, and Carlos was running.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No, he's giving you all he has. And, you know, to his credit, one of those guys that just hustles all the time. You know, you got your pitcher out there doing what he can to try and keep the game close and, you know, do what he's supposed to do. The least you can do when you're not hitting is to hustle. I'm sorry. And that's the way the game is played.
So Charlie tonight has watched as Coco Crisp went to third on a fly ball to center after he deked Shane. And now Dominic Brown not running on a ball hit hard, but bobbled by Weeks at second. He's probably boiling inside.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
I got to tell you, there are managers that I've had who let you get out there in the field and go and get you. I mean, because they feel that you're embarrassing them by not running out or hustling, so they're going to embarrass you when you go out there on the field. Bobby Cox would do that. Did that to Mr. Jones, I believe, there in center field. Let him get all the way out there, and then they end up taking him out of the game.
Well, Sarge, Bob Melvin's going out to talk to Trevor Cahill. You know, the athletic trainer for the A's looked like he was going to go out as well. Now, that may be for Suzuki, but there's something that's prompted this meeting here.
Basically, I would think getting on the same page. If he was hurt, you would bring the trainer out there. So they might have some communication problems with some signs and so on. So they're straightening it out.
That's interesting, you know, because there's 2 outs. It's 1-2 to the pitcher. Yeah, here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's Hamels settling back in. And he's down on strike. So if there was a communication problem, they have settled things. Meanwhile, Charlie Manuel has a lot to think about as his team goes down in order here in the fifth. We head to the sixth. position in baseball is showing his worth to his buyers. Cliff is taking the mound and taking over in June, silencing opponents to 1 earned run in 33 innings, while becoming the first Phillies pitcher with back-to-back shutouts in the last 7 seasons. Sometimes you just have to tip your cap. And this tip is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, Cliff Lee's next outing will be this Tuesday against Josh Beckett and the Boston Red Sox. But first, the Phillies have tonight's ball game against the A's and tomorrow's game against the A's. There's Cliff. That's a heck of a matchup right there between Lee and Beckett on Tuesday. Coco Crisp leads off the 6th for Oakland. They lead it 2-1. Phillies have just 1 hit so far tonight. Fouls it away. It's 1-2. Coco Crisp walked his first time up, went to second on a single, and then third on a fly ball, scored on a single to right by Sizemore. And he lines one toward right center field. Victorino moving over. He'll play it on a hop. And it's a base hit for Coco Crisp. So he's aboard to lead off the 6th. Over towards second. Utley gets to it. No play at second because of Crisp's speed. And he throws out Matsui. 1 away. Hey, if you're 30 years or older, here's your chance of a lifetime. It's Phillies Fantasy Camp. It takes place January 18th to the 22nd of next year. The package includes hotel accommodations, practice with and instruction from baseball legends such as Greg Luzinski, Jim Eisenreich, Mickey Morandini, and the commish, Larry Anderson. Call 610-520-3400. Hurry up. Space is limited. Get a game at Bright House Field.
It's really a good time. Great time.
Connor Jackson takes a strike. It's 0-1. You going to try to clear your schedule to head to fantasy camp this year?
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
I like to go every other year. Keep them guessing. End up meeting and continuing having a lot of good friends there.
What's your uniform? Do you wear your number 34? Is that on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
Pinstripe, red top. What's the look?
Red top. You know, the little older look, but gets it done.
Grounded to shortstop. Rollins will make the play against Connor Jackson over at first, and there are 2 outs. So 2 away here in the 6th. That'll bring Scott Sizemore to the plate. Sizemore has an RBI. That came his last time up, a single to right. A looper towards center. Victorino over toward the alleyway. Makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. Hey, Father's Day is around the corner, of course. And that's the perfect shirt for Father's Day. Sarge, I'm off a little bit with my calendar.
Well, on the Father's Day, you're right. Looks like you're going to be in that meeting with Victorino and Dominic Brown. Looks like you have to be there. You know, so.
Well, we were in Seattle for Father's Day. I kind of forgot about it. I didn't call my dad, though.
Yeah, well, it is around the corner, but next year around the corner.
Unless we went backwards. It's around the corner over there.
Just can't beat fun at the old ballpark. Let me tell you, you just can't beat it. Oh, boy.
That's one of those where you say it, and then you think, wait, that's wrong.
Did I say that? Did that come out? Oh, boy.
Well, it's still a great shirt to get any father, even if, every day should be Father's Day.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
2-0 the count to Jimmy Rollins. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first both times.
Sneaky way to get more socks.
Oh, man. Well, Sarge, the Phillies have to get a little offense going here.
Yep, third time around, so they ought to be ready to hit that ball hard.
Toward left center field, Coco Crisp into the alley and just in front of Matsui. What a way. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By the Quality Plus Ford stores and by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. On this Saturday after Father's Day, the Phillies and the A's, game 2 of this 3-game series. Placido Polanco 0 for 2. Takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
Well, Oakland A's out catching the fighting fields when they're just not swinging the bats very well. And there are times during the season that actually happens.
Ball was right in on the knuckles of Polanco. There are 2 gone here, the 6th.
Now that's that movement that's coming in. Two-seamer. Ball will come in on the right-handed hitter. That particular pitch you want to start more out over the plate. Watch where that ball starts. I mean, it coming in and boring in on him, if you will. Inside-out type of a swing. Usually Victorino has no chance to hit that up and in. Hard sinker, I guess they call them these days.
There you see it. 12 consecutive batters sent down by Cahill since the RBI single by Carlos Ruiz.
Boy, just mixing the pitches up just enough to keep the hitters off balance. Good breaking ball, hittable, but again, not what Chase Utley was looking for.
Utley rips it to right, and it's knocked down by Connor Jackson. Chase takes an aggressive turn around first, so that ends a string of 12 in a row.
That ball was ripped. Line drive. He hit in the right field. Just need to have more balls that are hit hard. And when you do that, that's when your pitcher starts to get a little bit nervous, a little shaky. You're not hitting any ball hard. He's going to have and get more confidence throughout the evening.
Howard has scored the only run for the Phillies tonight. Quick toss over first. Utley did not have a big lead.
Well, that's one of the things that's been glaring this year. Guys just haven't been running the way they normally have, whether or not their legs are feeling good or not. That's part of the game that they just haven't been doing. One of the few times that Ryan Howard has had this hitting count. Should be able to put a good swing on him, and a quick hard swing on him, if you will. It's got to be your pitch, however. Get out. And yeah, I would let him hit 3-0.
Well, you see the comparison between the two starters tonight. Cahill with 73 pitches in 5 2/3. Hamels 75 in 6. He gets the green light, grounds it through to the shift on the right side, and Weeks throws out Howard, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We've completed 6. We head to the 7th. Phillies trail at 2-1. Well, 6 in the books here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies trail at 2-1. And Kurt Suzuki will lead it off for the A's, and he takes low. Cole Hamels has been pretty good tonight. He's only allowed the 2 runs, and he has scattered 6 hits over 6 innings. Fly ball, shallow right center. Victorino didn't see it right away. Now I think he has a beat on it. He makes a catch, 1 away.
Well, on this Father's Day Eve, I'd like to give the Verizon wireless game summary. And you see right there the Athletics lead this game 2-1. Adam Rosales with a solo home run as he flew around the bases. Trevor Cahill has been as advertised. He's really good. Carlos Ruiz with one of the Phil's 2 hits produced their 1 run. And as you said, Tom, as we're ready to celebrate Father's Day again, Cole Hamels has been real good.
He has. In fact, he pitched on Father's Day last Sunday.
Yeah, I heard you say that. I thought, am I missing something here? Well, it's only 51 more weeks, so it's around the corner.
Just want to make sure it's fresh in everybody's mind, Reels.
You're one of those guys. Every day should be Father's Day. Huh?
2 balls and no strikes. The count to Rosales. Inside, 3-0.
This guy had a home run tonight, and he looked up and he was at home plate already. I think I remember him now from the Reds that he had that shtick when he was with them, and he didn't hit that many of them. And everybody was saying, "Well, why don't you enjoy them a little more?"
Well, he just walked on 4 pitches.
Yeah, see that all of a sudden it's starting to come back a little bit. That when the Phillies saw this guy when he was with the Reds, that was his. It's the way he plays. And they were, they're kidding around that he was playing for a team that Pete Rose once played for, and Pete would do some of that stuff.
There's Trevor Cahill, and he shows bunt and takes a strike. It's no balls and 1 strike. Cahill's 0 for 2. Struck out his first time up, and then grounded one back to the box his last time at the plate.
Are they holding their breath? Oh, look out. Just going to say they don't want him to bunt here probably because they don't want him to get in a situation where he could get hurt bunting, and then he hits a wicked foul. Oh. Hit that guy's shoulder, and he says he's all right. Man. He's going to have trouble opening his presents tomorrow.
He'll jabs at it, misses, and he's down on strikes, 2 outs. Back to the top of the order for Weeks.
I've been there when you do one of those lines. It's kind of fun to be on the other end of it.
Oh, it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks is 1 for 3. Struck out, grounded to short, single to right. And takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Funny, let him stab away on that last pitch to bunt. Saying, you're not used to this stuff. They don't really like their players, especially a valuable pitcher like a Cahill, turning around and trying to sacrifice when they're not used to it. It's hard to do anyway if you practice it a lot and execute it once in a while, let alone when you just don't do it.
There are a lot of American League managers over the years that have disliked interleague play, if only because of that.
Well, they can get hurt. Well, dangerous.
Not only that, the base running, all the things that are involved for an American League pitcher that he's not used to doing. I mean, Chien-Ming Wang, who hasn't been the same when he was with the Yankees, he was hurt during interleague games, and he's now trying to do a comeback with the Washington Nationals. Ground ball toward third, a foul ball. Well, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Kind of hesitated on that call because you're looking at the umpires to make the call before you do. And if the ball is before the bag, as everybody knows, it's the home plate umpire's call, and if it's beyond the bag, it's the base umpire's call.
Right.
Well, neither one was making a call. Finally, Angel Hernandez, the home plate umpire, said that was foul. Grounded toward the hole, and that's through for a base hit for Weeks. So the A's have first and second now with 2 outs, and it's the second hit of the night for Weeks. Hey, the Powerade Junior Phillies Club is open for fans 14 and under. Members receive Junior Phillies Club backpack, Carlos Ruiz poster and magnet series, a membership card, an opportunity to win fun prizes. The registration fee is $13. For information or to register, see Phillies.com/Junior Phillies Club. Two outs for Mark Ellis. And a foul ball that got a piece of Ruiz. It's 0-1. Softly hit toward Rollins at shortstop. He'll take it over to first in time to retire Ellis, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. Time to stretch here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies trail it 2-1. answer. Wheels, name the A's player that became the first in MLB history to hit home runs in his first 2 World Series at-bats.
How about that Gino Tanachi?
Gene Tennis is correct. Back in 1972 against the Reds. Log back on to Phillies.com. Find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
Hit him in the ballpark that at that time was known as Riverfront Stadium.
A's went to 3 straight World Series. Reds, Mets, and Dodgers.
Oh, they were good. And they had Jim Hunter, of course. Catfish Hunter is their #1 starter, and Raleigh Fingers at the end of the game. Joe Rudy.
Back in that day, it was Raleigh Fingers in the middle and the end of the game.
Right. Joe Rudy, Reggie.
1-2 the count. Victorino takes a cut and miss. Victorino's 0 for 1 with a walk.
Then Dick Williams was a manager of those teams. Did a heck of a job with them.
And then they broke him up after that.
Yeah.
Now the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Braves have taken a 1-0 lead over the Padres. Chipper Jones an RBI. Jair Jurgens again is pitching for Atlanta in that game. Grounder right side. Big hop for Mark Ellis. And he beats Victorino to the bag. 1 away.
You know, with the Phillies' ongoing offensive problem, some nights you wonder, is it the pitcher or is it the hitter? Tonight, you know, it's a combination, but this guy's good. You know, we saw it in the first inning. We talked about it. His stuff, the way it moves, he can throw 3 different pitches. And to me, he's effectively wild. You know, all of a sudden he's all over the place, and then zip, 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 he starts throwing strikes. And they are not easy to hit strikes because of movement on the baseball.
Well, he's only thrown 79 pitches. This is the 80th pitch of the night. Coming to Ibanez. Victorino's retired on pitch number 79.
And all that said, you're dealing with a team, you know, that it just is not swinging the bats well up and down the lineup. And a guy like this can really make you look like you're struggling.
Phillies have won 8 consecutive games here at Citizens Bank Park. And they trail at only 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's only 2-1 because Oakland's not a team that scores a whole lot of runs, and they haven't again tonight. A shame for Hamels. They get shut out on Sunday 2-0 by Vargas in Seattle, and now tonight they have 1 run.
Phillies 1-run games this year, 13-8. The A's have been involved in a lot of 1-run games as well. They have not had the same kind of success the Phillies have had. The count is 2-1 to Ibanez. Opposite way. Sizemore moves to his right, throws low to first, dug out by Ellis. Phillies have just the 1 hit since the 2nd. In fact, they only have 2 hits overall.
Here's a really good play by Ellis. Tom mentioned earlier he's been an everyday second baseman for them. Now trying to get him some playing time, and he's not that familiar with that position, but he made a heck of a play on that. Ball came skidding off the grass. He managed to stay in contact with the bag. He stretched out nicely. Good job.
Oh, and 1 the count to Dominic Brown.
Hopefully learned a lesson his last time up. Didn't run that ball out the way that he should have. Probably could have had a hit, or maybe would have had a hit on it. You don't know. Took something for granted. And, you know, things happen really fast in this game. You can't take it for granted.
Well, at his young age, it's probably a pretty good lesson to learn.
You hope so. Dominic Brown seems like a guy that wants to learn and get better. You know, he's a very pleasant guy to be around. You know, I think he really enjoys this lifestyle.
Outside and low, 2 balls and 1 strike to Brown.
That guy's turning his back after what happened to him.
Probably figured it's easier to take that off his back than off the front.
Well, he's got padding there. It probably wouldn't hurt there. time the pitch is over. He's ready for action when the ball's delivered. Now he can do his shtick.
Brown hits it towards second. Weeks picks it up and throws him out, and the side is retired. So the Fanatic is calling him safe. He was out. The Phillies go down in order. We played 7. It's on to the 8th here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies trail at 2-1. WB makes it for amazingly low office product prices, and by McDonald's. I'm loving it. 7 into the books, and these 7 have gone pretty quickly because it's still twilight here in Philadelphia.
Some long days here in the month of June, of course, and this game is flying along. As soon as you say that, though, we'll go 15. But that means the Phillies will have tied the game up. So
that's what I was thinking.
That's all right.
Here's Coco Crisp. The longest day of the year was 4 days ago, June 21st.
Right.
Inside, 1-1. Crisp has been on base twice today. He has singled. He's also walked and scored. And into a 5-4-3 double play in the first inning. Toward first, right between the legs of Ryan Howard. And that'll be an error. Second error of the year for Howard.
Yeah, that's you know, not only do you have a base runner, but you have a base stealer, potential base stealer on at first base in a 1-run game.
Now, we mentioned before that Crisp on the double play back in the first was limping around, but that did not deter him in the fourth when he was taken off on a pitch to Hideki Matsui. Matsui's 1 for 3.
Almost got caught for that kind of ticky-tack balk earlier in the game. Don't know what that was all about. Didn't step towards home plate, did he?
It didn't look that way. You know, particularly from behind home plate, it didn't look that way. And Angel Hernandez is the one who called it.
And that's what he looked like he did when he got called for the ball.
The only difference is that he looked toward home. Now, I don't know if that changed the way Angel Hernandez saw the move, because he looked toward home. Maybe he turned a little bit, or maybe he thought he was leaning forward. I don't know. We had a side angle. This is the center field look. Watch what I'm talking about, Wheels, as he looks toward home. Ready there. But that's not really anything there.
No. Do what you want with your head.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was heading toward home on that look right there. At the knees. 2-1 to Matsui. Phillies' first error in 91 innings and only the second for Howard.
Well, when you struggle the way they have offensively and you have as good a record as they have, they've done a good job pitching and catching the ball.
Chris started, then he stopped, and a line drive into left, a base hit for Matsui, his second hit of the night. So first and second with nobody out here in the eighth. And here's Connor Jackson. AT PHI is up and throwing in the pen. We mentioned before the Phillies pen is short Ryan Matson right now. Now he's not on the DL, but Ryan had a cortisone shot in his pitching hand, so he's going to be out for at least the next 3 or 4 days.
You heard him pitch a lot last night. You have to save the younger guys now, maybe Stutz and Baez for or Bastardo for the possible closing roles. Charlie said he might close with Bastardo tonight if he got to that point.
They throw behind Coco Crisp, and he just gets back. Boy, he had a huge secondary lead anticipating that bunt by Connor Jackson.
Well, a lot of times a runner will get caught off there because his eyes read the pitch. It's really a good pitch to bunt right down the middle. Then the guy bunts through it and he's hung out to dry. In this case, he's quick enough to get back, but that's what he saw was a perfect strike for the guy to bunt, and then he bunts right through it.
Jackson not showing bunt this time. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Guess they really want that run. Bunting with the 5-hole hitter. It's been a battle for Hamels tonight. He really has not been that sharp. He's such a good pitcher now that he'll go out there on a night like this when he's not as sharp as he is on some other nights and still get through it and do a heck of a job. And that's what he's doing tonight.
Line drive caught by Jimmy Rollins.
Well, that was a cutter that didn't cut a whole lot. And Connor Jackson just nailed it. Big break for the Phillies right at Jimmy. Here's a cut fastball. He got the barrel on it, but right at the shortstop. And good base running there, too, by the A's. Nobody gets doubled off.
Here's Scott Sizemore, who's 1 for 3. Hamels tries a changeup and it misses outside, just off the outside corner. It's 1-0. Sizemore, we mentioned, began the year with the Detroit Tigers. There goes Crisp. Pitch taken for a strike. The throw to third, not in time. 23 stolen bases for Coco Crisp.
And he stole that one on call. Carlos Ruiz made a heck of a throw, especially with a right-handed hitter up there, to get it out like that and get it right on the bag. You're going to get a lot of guys with what Carlos was just able to do, but he had a running jump off. So right there, he decided he could go. He could pick up what was going on. Look at this, right on the bag, safe.
And Matsui, who does not have good wheels, decided to anchor it over at first.
Right. Yeah, that's just a situation where the guy at second, he's going on his own. Look how close this is.
That's just what you said. He threw it right on the bag.
Yeah, and around a right-handed hitter, too.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Hamels is going after a strikeout now. He really needs it. or a double play.
Pretty good numbers for Sizemore. Little number back toward the mound. Hamels looks over at third, throws low to first, but gets Sizemore for the second out. So second and third, 2 away here in the 8th.
Really good job by Cole Hamels. As Tom says, he looks the runner back at third and keeps his poise and throws a batter out at first base, and now you have second and third and 2 outs.
Yeah, Matsui moved up to second on the play.
Sometimes you can get caught up a little bit with that guy coming down the line at third. So here he comes down the line at third. Good break there, but he puts the brakes on right away, and Cole makes sure that he froze him. So he looked back there, and now I've got him frozen. There's no way he can score. Throw to first and get the batter. Nice job.
Suzuki's 0 for 3. A ground out and 2 flyouts. And he takes high. 1 ball and no strikes. Try to start him off with a curve.
This will be Hamels' last inning. They're really trying to get one more out here and keep this to a 1-run game.
Yeah, he's due to bat second in the bottom of the 8th. Matsui's at second base. Crisp is at third. Over to shortstop. Rollins has some time, throws out Suzuki, and Hamels works out of some trouble here in the 8th inning. He's pitched well enough to win. Now the Phillies offense needs to get him some runs. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the A's 2, the Phillies 1. Hey, we've been telling you for the last couple of weeks, you can go to Phillies.com and help send your favorite Philly to this year's All-Star game. Vote early, vote often, vote up to 25 times at Phillies.com. Now, the voting ends Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Now we begin the bottom of the 8th. Trevor Cahill still out there, and Carlos Ruiz shows bunt. And takes the ball inside. It's 1-0.
Cahill went 8 innings in his last start against the Giants, beating them on Sunday.
Now tonight he's allowed only 2 hits. Ruiz sends one in the air to left field. Matsui heading back, has room. He got it in on the hands just a little bit.
That's that late movement that this guy has. And he just ran it in on him.
And now Ross Glode will pinch hit for the Phillies. Lowe's numbers against the A's for his career. Good numbers, 344. He's 11 for 32. Interleague play also has very good numbers. Andrew Bailey's the right-hander. Brian Fuentes is the lefty. A curveball for strike one. Lowe leads the majors in pinch hits with 11.
Guess Andrew Bailey like to get into a game in this town.
I would think he would. Graduate of Paul VI High School in South Jersey. Toward the gap in left center field. Mitsui's on the run. He's not going to get there. It splits the gap and rolls toward the wall. Coco Crisp misplayed it as he and Matsui got too close together. And Blode has a pinch hit double. Let's see if they pinch run for him. Yep, here comes Michael Martinez.
Yeah, they have to. That's a tying run. And it's getting late. Here's a look at it. It's a sinker. Stayed in the middle of the plate a little bit. And the ball, as Tom said, split the gaps out here. And now Crisp overruns it. And the wall stops him. And then Matsui gets it back in. Double all the way. Safe at second. Well, Ross Glode was safe at second. And Michael Martinez is running for him at second. They're both safe and secure with New York Life.
That's the tying run in scoring position. And the top of the order is due up. A quick trip to the mound. Cahill's at 94 pitches. Really the only time he's been in trouble tonight, the second inning. That's it. I guess you can call this a little murmur of trouble for the big right-hander.
He retired 12 in a row.
And then Chase Utley single to right. Rollins is 0 for 3.
Playing him around towards left center, big gap in right center field. This isn't a high velocity fastball pitcher, but just extraordinary movement on his sinker.
Martinez is getting a very good secondary lead off second, and Cahill is just trying to keep him a little closer.
Good job by Martinez to turn around. Look where the outfielders are in every pitch.
Rollins tried to hold. That ball was in the dirt.
Yeah.
A sweeping curveball, and it's 0-2.
Some play by Suzuki.
It really was.
Talked about all the wild pitches Cahill has tonight. And watch this. Look at this move. Look at him shift. Sells out. Doesn't worry about catching the ball. He's just trying to block it there.
You can run on all three of these outfielders for the A's. The 0-2 to Rollins. In the dirt, he blocks it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Guy's pretty good looking catcher. Very nimble. Slides around real nice and gets his body in front of the ball. Pitchers love catchers that give a low target too, and he sits there pretty well.
Oh. Talk about changing the eye level of the hitter. He just changed the eye level of his catcher.
Well, you know, you can see why there are wild pitches in this guy's repertoire. Think how many the catcher saves. Now, he wanted to throw a high fastball here, but not this one. He stands up right here a little bit to get the high fastball, and then whoa! Good thing I'm standing up.
Rollins 0 for 4. And the 6th strikeout for Cahill.
Got a breaking ball. He's done this curveball very effectively tonight, along with the changeup. Yeah, it's a curveball, and it really had some dive to it. And he swings over.
So Rollins is retired, and with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, Phillies down 2-1. Here's Placido Polanco. Had a hit last night. He's hitless in 3 at-bats tonight.
Just the opposite defense now in Polanco. They move the center fielder to right center.
And he takes a breaking ball outside, 1-0.
Really watch Martinez now to get that jump off second base, walking lead, going on contact, trying to tie this game up.
Boy, there's a lot of movement on that curveball from Cahill. So Polanco kind of twists out of the way.
Got off to a hot start with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Fallen off since. Oof.
Way outside off the glove of Suzuki. And Martinez is at third. That's going to be a wild pitch for Cahill, his 10th of the year. Even though it didn't hit the dirt, it was moving every which way. Wow.
Say for the most part he's been effectively wild here tonight. That one was really wild. That's a sinker, and it's supposed to come back towards the plate, and it went almost like a cutter. Here's Martinez just in case that thing goes a little bit too far. But now you really have to be alert because he could throw another one.
First base runner at third for the Phillies since the 2nd inning when they scored a run.
You wonder if this would be his last hit or two with Fuentes up in the bullpen and Utley on deck.
It's almost as if Bob Melvin just said, don't give in to him. Don't give in to him.
Well, he may be thinking of going left then. This guy doesn't give in though anyway. Even when he throws his fastball, it's running all over the place.
3-1 the count.
Oh,
breaking ball, and Polanco spins out of the way. Ball 4.
That's the point about don't give in to him. He threw a breaking ball, and he's going to come get. It looks like he's going to come get him and bring Fuentes in for Utley.
He's going to make a double switch. And it looks like Pennington's going to enter the ball game for Oakland. Pennington will go to short. Rosales will go to third. And we'll get a new pitcher for the A's. So it's going to be the left-hander Fuentes who's going to come in to face Chase Utley. So Chase already has a hit. Oh, no, it's not. It's going to be Andrew Bailey. Yep. The right-hander's coming into the ball game. So it's righty on lefty, the closer for the A's. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen here at Citizens Bank Park with the Phils down 1. Fire's new acquisitions and highlights from Chivas USA at Union. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota. Tonight at 10, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, South Jersey native Andrew Bailey, who's the closer for the Oakland A's, is the new pitcher for Oakland here in the 8th inning. Bailey's pitched in just 8 games so far because he was on the DL with a strained right forearm. Former Rookie of the Year. Last night he said he left 10 tickets for his friends and family. He said everybody else already has tickets. So he's on to try to, well, this is going to be more than a 3-out save. Because the double switch, which we'll tell you about. As Utley takes low, it's 1-0.
Yeah, who does he come in to face? Chase Utley and then Ryan Howard. There's a guy who grew up in this area. That's pretty neat.
Remember, he was honored by the Philadelphia Sports Writers a couple of years ago after he won the Rookie of the Year award. Two-time All-Star. And Utley fouls it away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Got a big time arm. That was 95 on his fastball.
There's Rosales, who's over at third now, and Pennington came on to play short. He'll bat 9th. Pennington will. One ball and 1 strike to count to Utley. Breaking ball chopped toward first. Big hop for Mark Ellis. And he'll walk it right over to the bag, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left for the Phillies. We've completed 8. It's on to the 9th. The Phils down by 1. Tonight, same story. A's lead at 2-1 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Cole Hamels' night is done. 8 innings, 8 hits, and 2 runs. Cole did a nice job again today. Meanwhile, Michael Stutz will take over in his 26th ball game. 3-0, a 2.28 ERA. Stutz earned the win in last night's game when he pitched a scoreless 9th. Now, that game was tied going into the 9th. And every time the Phillies retire, the opposing team 1, 2, 3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. Last night with the game scoreless in the 9th, it was Stutz instead of Ryan Matson, who was the Phillies closer. Usually at home in a tie game in the 9th inning, you'll bring your closer into the game. Well, we came to find out after the ball game that Ryan is nursing a sore hand.
And this game just a 1-run game, so you know Charlie Manuel's going with a guy who's done such a good job for him, Michael Stutz. Ryan hopefully will be back in a few days. That's what they feel.
Yeah, Charlie said last night that they're hoping it'll be 3 to 4 days. They talked about taking care of the situation today, and Ryan, hopefully the swelling will go down. Ryan getting a cortisone shot. It's amazing that happened a couple weeks ago and he still was able to pitch, but he kept having pain.
Yeah, according to everybody, it kept getting worse.
1-2 the count to Rosales. Breaking ball, 2-2. Rosales tonight is 1 for 2 with a walk. The one was a home run the opposite way. And a called strike 3 right on the inside part of the plate. Stutes knew it. I'm sure Rosales in the back of his mind knew it too. 1 away.
He got strikeouts when he came into the game last night. It's so important. Back end of your bullpen. They can when he gets strikeouts, nothing happens. As Tom said, a good fastball inside part of the plate.
Here's Pennington batting for the first time. He came in as part of a double switch. And Pennington takes a breaking ball inside. 1-0.
Well, both starters did a very good job here tonight. And they are both the pitchers of record.
Cole Hamels, the last 2 outings combined 14 1/3. 4 runs. Pitched well enough to win in Seattle. He's pitched well enough to win here tonight. He trails at 2-1.
Grand total of 1 run score.
Oh boy. Pennington drills one deep to right, and it's foul. That is just a long strike.
Yeah. Hamels walked the batter tonight that scored. You know, that's just, it's a shame that he's had no margin for error in the last couple of games.
There's ball 4. Pennington's aboard a 1-out walk. That's the 3rd walk issued by Phillies pitching in this game.
6 stolen bases, 6 caught stealings.
So here's Jemiah Weeks batting left-handed for the first time tonight. He has 2 hits right-handed. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Nate McLouth has added to the lead for the Braves. They lead at 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd.
He's playing left field for them.
Yeah, Prado's still banged up. How about Dan Uggla still hitting under 200?
It's getting late.
Sure is. To the count. Tomorrow, the final game of the series. Roy Halladay will get the baseball for the Phillies. Josh Outman scheduled to pitch for the A's. Off day Monday, and then the Red Sox come to town.
Josh Outman's a guy from the Phillies farm system. They traded in the Joe Blanton deal. Had Tommy John surgery.
Did I see right? He's wearing number 88.
I don't know.
To right center field. That's pretty well hit. Victorino on the run into the alleyway. He's not going to get there. Pennington's being waved home. Now he's being stopped by Gallego. As Utley gets the throw in. Runners on 2nd and 3rd here in the top of the 9th. The outfielders center fielder Victorino was shaded over toward left center, and Weeks pulled that to right center.
Yeah, he's not supposed to hit the ball over there. You know, he doesn't appear to be that strong from the left side, so they're going to play him as an opposite field hitter, and the ball's up in the strike zone. That thing had a lot of hang time, but Shane had no chance to get to it because he was so far over in left center field. As you said, Gallego had him coming all the way, and then they got it back in quickly, put the brakes up.
Victorino did a nice job getting to that ball and then getting the throw in, and then Utley, of course, made the throw to the plate at that point. Pennington had stopped at third, so now the infield is in for the Phillies. And Ellis spins away from the first pitch.
Boy, they're struggling to score runs right now. This is a big run out there. So, you know, as you said, the infield, you have to play the infield in here and try to cut something off.
Slider for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Matson is on the shelf, and as we said, he's not on the DL, but while he's on the shelf, it'll be Stutz and Bastardo who will most likely share the closer's role, the late inning roles that the Phillies will rely on. On the hands, a looper towards shallow center. Here comes Victorino. He's not going to get there. It'll drop in for a base hit. Pennington scores. It's now 3-1 in favor of the A's.
Well, that walk just got the whole thing started, the 1-out walk. And, you know, that's the problem when you have to play the infield in like that. One of the infielders catches that ball if you're back in normal position. But with the infield in, they can't get to it. It's certainly not any way that Victorino could get to it.
Well, now first and third for Coco Crisp, who's a tough guy to double up, particularly from the left side of the plate.
So as a result, it looks like they're not going to play a double play depth.
Ruiz throws behind Weeks, and he's able to get back.
Boy, he looked like he had it.
He sure did. Ruiz was able to pick off Skip Schumacher the other night in St. Louis.
Comes firing out of there. Good throw. Just got the hand in.
Eighteen pitches so far this inning for Stutz. The A's have scored a run. Runner goes from first. Towering fly ball deep to right field. Brown going back toward the wall, makes the catch. Weeks tags from third. And he scores easily. It's 4-1 Oakland. An RBI and a sac fly for Coco Crisp. Well, as Wheels mentioned, with the Phillies struggling to get some offense going, these 2 runs, well, 1 run would have been big. 2 runs is huge.
Yeah, 1-run game, the tying run stepping to the plate every time. With nobody on base now. Long way to get to the tying run.
Matsui's got 2 hits tonight. Polanco will give that a look. It'll be out of play, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Looking ahead to the Phillies' 9th, it's Howard, Victorino, and Ibanez against Andrew Bailey, who came in to get the last out in the 8th. He's been sitting for a little bit, but he'll be out there again in the 9th.
This will basically take Stutz out of tomorrow's game. Won't be able to pitch now until Tuesday, and unfortunately gave up some runs. So one more guy who will be eliminated tomorrow.
On the outside corner, Matsui's down looking, and the side is retired. But the A's tack on 2 more. They leave 1. To the bottom of the 9th we go, and Ryan Howard is due to lead things off. Offense for either team, but early on, Scott Sizemore's base hit the opposite way, brought home Coco Crisp. That gave the A's a 2-1 lead. They held a 2-1 lead until the 9th, and then in the 9th, Mark Ellis looped a single to center with the infield drawn in, and that brought home Cliff Pennington with the 3rd run of the night. The A's tacked on 1 more to make it 4-1, and now Andrew Bailey will go to the bottom of the 9th inning with a 4-1 lead. Trying to pick up the save. 12 career saves of more than 1 inning. His last was June 20th at St. Louis of last year. Howard takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Howard walked in his first at bat, struck out looking in the 4th, grounded out his last time up, and he takes outside 2-0. Phillies need a couple base runners to bring the tying run to the plate. In the air to right center field. Connor Jackson and Coco Crisp converge, and it's Jackson who makes the catch. About a step or 2 onto the warning track, and there's 1 out. And Andrew Bailey takes a huge sigh.
Would have been an even bigger side. That'd been the tying run.
Yep.
He could get away with it. We didn't want to walk him there. He didn't want to put a base runner on, so he challenged him, and Ryan Howard almost hit it out of the ballpark.
Mentioned last night that Andrew Bailey, after going to Paul VI, went to Wagner College in New York, was a 6th round selection by the Oakland A's. Pretty impressive that he was able to make his way to the big leagues and become a Rookie of the Year and a 2-time All-Star. There was some concern earlier this year when he went on the DL with the forearm problem that it might be a lot worse, and he was relieved and the A's were relieved when it turned out to just be a strain. He hasn't pitched in a whole lot of games since his return, or hasn't pitched in a whole lot of games this year, but seems healthy.
Sure does. It's good fastball. Trying to drop a breaking ball there for maybe get it out.
Gonzalez will give this a peek. He nearly fell. And he might have turned his ankle.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. The reason I was laughing was because of the way he runs so hard when he walked, when he hit the home run, but hopefully he's okay.
He's walking it off over at third.
Yeah, right there is when he slipped, and that's probably where he twisted his ankle or whatever he did to hurt himself. If he hadn't done that, he might have gone over and caught that ball.
1-2 the count to Victorino. Fouls it away again, and it remains 1 ball 2 strikes. Get a look at what Bally's career earned run average is. Counting this year, his ERA this year is 1.04. He has a major league earned run average of just barely over 1.5. That's pretty strong.
Pretty good for a kid from South Jersey.
Yeah. Victorino toward the alleyway in right center field. Jackson again on the run with Crisp. They're not going to get this one. It's off the base of the scoreboard. Crisp picks it up, and Victorino stops at second. So the Phillies have a base runner with 1 out here in the 9th inning. That's the best ball they've had hit all night.
Yeah, he's challenging them with fastballs in this inning with a 3-run lead. Ryan Howard almost hit 1 out, and Shane Victorino nailed that one. It would have been a triple for him in a lot of situations, but no sense in taking the chance of getting thrown out there or something going wrong, and you're down by 3 runs. Here it is, a fastball, and he hits it hard. Hits out there near the base of the wall, comes right back towards Coco Crisp. But as far as he had to go for that, and the way Victorino was running, he's at third base if he needed to be, but he doesn't.
So Ibanez, who takes inside, it's 1-0. Suzuki's had to make a few trips out to the mound tonight. First for Trevor Cahill, went 7 2/3.
Well, he knows his pitcher's got a little adrenaline rush going right now, trying to finish this off in front of his hometown friends, family, maybe the team he used to root for.
Outside 2-0.
Ibanez right now, if he can just get on, and talked about getting that tying run to the plate.
Get a couple of shots with that tying run.
Sure. So he's going to make him throw strikes here. High now all of a sudden the pitch. That's what I mean by adrenaline.
Ibanez was taken all the way, and he takes one right down the chute for a strike. It's 3-1. Now the team has really lit it up with runners in scoring position in this ball game.
The A's have had more chances.
Ball 4. The tying run is coming to the plate here in the 9th inning. Well, those 2 runs at the top of the 9th, huge now for the A's. And now here in the bottom of the 9th, the Phillies have 2 on. And 1 out. Dominic Brown 7 for his last 52. Had some good at bats last night. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight, but right at Weeks, the second baseman.
They have an opposite field outfield alignment for Dominic Brown right now, too. Big hole, gap in right center field. You see with that overhead shot. If he shoots a ball out there towards the 398, he can get triple.
Utley looking on, hoping for another bottom of the ninth victory for the Phils. They won it last night in the bottom of the ninth. The 2-1 pitch coming to Dominic Brown. He got a pretty good pitch to drive, and he fouled it back. It's 2-2. Back toward the middle. Weeks has it, flips with his glove. There's one, and there's two. That's a pretty nifty double play to finish up this ball game for the Oakland A's. So the A's take game 2 of this 3-game series by a final score of 4-1. It's the first home loss for the Phillies since the 9th of June against the Cubs. Their 8-game home winning streak comes to a close.
Yeah, this ball looked like it had a chance to be up the middle. And a nice play by Weeks. They are cheating for a double play. You see where he is. Takes a nice hop right there. You know, I know that looked good at the end, but they're probably going, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Because all kinds of things could have gone wrong, because all he had to do was just transfer it and flip it to the shortstop, Pennington. I mean, that looks really cool. Not a great way to play, but it worked out for them.
Well, Andrew Bell, his family and friends, they're excited to see his first save in an A's uniform here in Philadelphia. So he closes things out. The A's win it by a final score of 4-1. The A's tacked on 2 runs in their half of the 9th, but really Trevor Cahill held the Phillies at bay for just about his entire outing, Wheels.
Well, this guy was as advertised. He has electric stuff. You see him moving all over the place. Has a change up there. He used a really good sinker. Curveball there to Brown. And look at that running sinker ball coming in on Placido Polanco. Jammed him, threw him out there. And he was effectively wild, too. You know, he would not throw a lot of pitches near the middle of the plate. Did a very good job, and he is a Chevrolet player of the game.
So the Phils lose game 2 by a final score of 4-1. We'll be back right after this to chat a little bit more about tonight's game.